The Arizona Cardinals just got some great news from the NFL. That is what we're talking about here on today's show. So welcome into Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey O'Donnell, and we're going to talk about what is good for Arizona. Finally, good news. Does that sound right? Cardinals and good news? Well, that's what we got today, folks, so get excited. And I also want to say thank you to all of you because we did hit 2,000 subscribers. I knew we could, so I want to take this time to say thank you to all of you guys making this possible. This channel is growing. It is growing fast, and I'm happy to be starting this off with all the first 2,000 real ones. So just because we hit a milestone, we don't stop. We're still grinding, folks. All right, already 15 subs away from 2.1 thousand, all right? This is because you guys are the best. We got some diehard, dedicated Cardinals fans in the world, all right? So hit that subscribe button for free and let us get into the good news for Arizona. So the NFL made some salary cap adjustments here, okay? Gave out extra money, extra cap space, cap savings for different NFL teams, and the Cardinals are one of the top teams on this list. You see the full thing on your screen right now. They are towards the top with that $14 million cap space gain from the NFL. Now, the NFL does this for a variety of different reasons. You know, cap space left over. Maybe players didn't play due to injury last year, and you had some insurance relief in their contracts. You know, different things of that nature. But the Cardinals benefit from this more than most teams. The top five, we'll show you right now. It was the Titans, Niners, Browns, and then the Cardinals came in as the fourth best team in terms of getting new salary cap adjustments here. $14 million to play with now. And look, the Cardinals have been relatively active in free agency to this point. You know, made some decent signings, some that you question absolutely, like the Gardner Minshew. But I would say that they've made a bunch of decent moves so far today. And you did lose Jalen Thompson, right? But decent amount of cap space to play with still. Look at that, nearly $42 million, and that NFL bonus is helping you guys out. So what would Arizona do with this good news? Well, you still need a lot on the roster. You do. And I'm one of the people that says they have a lot of good pieces, but I also think you need a lot of just bona fide starters at some different spots, right? Quarterback, offensive line specifically, right tackle, defensive line. We know you need another edge, and if you don't get Calais Campbell back, you might want another big DT, okay? Always could use another linebacker. I'm a believer you could always use another corner as well, but I'd say these are the main needs for Arizona. So who's available left? The top NFL free agents. Well, number one is actually Calais Campbell. I think it's a long shot he comes back to Arizona. I mean, he is ageless. He was still balling, but 40 years old, probably wants to try and contend here one last time. Joey Bosa's available. That's an intriguing one for the Cardinals fans that do want another edge. Kirk Cousins, one of the top quarterbacks available. He's getting really old, though. Don't see Arizona trying to pay him. DJ Reader, defensive tackle option for the Cardinals as well. And Aaron Rodgers, 42-year-old quarterback. I think he wants to try and run this thing back for another year or two. Some more names that could potentially intrigue Cardinals fans and front office. Kevin Zeitler, pretty good guard, but he is getting really old. Hassan Reddick, Cam Jordan, a couple edges that are still out there. Jawan Taylor, who plays right tackle specifically, is a free agent here. The Chiefs actually released him at 28 years old. And then Jimmy G, put him on here just because he's been linked to the Cardinals a few times as Mike LaFleur's guy, but nothing there just yet. Other edges, for the people that want to know, if Cardinals can get another edge. Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney, still free agents. You know, again, guys that are over 30, but guys that have been stars in this league before. And so there are a lot of options here that the Cardinals could end up going with. I'm going to talk about the most realistic ones, but I want to know one player that you want the Cardinals to sign. If you could pick right now an extra signing before this draft gets underway, let me know who you want Arizona to sign. And I'm going to talk about who I think realistically they could out of the names that I brought up so far. Number one, I think Joey Bosa is a realistic option here. Okay, he's about 31 years old, as I had showed you guys, and he's still a productive player. He's still a good pass rusher in this league. Bosa and Sweat, that'd be a nice combo here and something that actually could make sense. I mean, you look at the last 4 seasons for Joey Bosa. You know, he's still having multi-sack seasons in a row, 5 sacks the past 2 years. Good at punching that ball out, too. 5 forced fumbles last year for Buffalo, and he has not been re-signed. He has not landed somewhere, and so I do think that somewhere he could land is the Cardinals if they want to have one more splash here before the draft. Aaron Rodgers is a very intriguing one. You're probably like, Joey, why are you putting Aaron Rodgers on this list? But guess what? There's rumors for Rodgers to Arizona because of how much he loves the Cardinals offensive coordinator, that is Nate Hackett. All right, I got a couple quotes, direct quotes from Aaron Rodgers here about Nathaniel Hackett. First of all, he says, "My love for Hack goes deep. Arguably my favorite coach I've ever had in the NFL." And then he did a press conference when he joined the Jets and said, "A big reason I'm here, I got to mention, is Nathaniel Hackett, who is here." Hack and I became really close friends for 3 years in Green Bay. I love him like a brother, and I believe in him. And I'm really happy to be back working with him. I mean, you hear Aaron Rodgers talking like that? Does that not sound like he'd go where Nate Hackett went? Right? He did it before. Would he do it again? Could he come follow his guy to the Arizona Cardinals here, playing some warm weather in Arizona instead of that tough AFC North division in Pittsburgh? I mean, I think if he's going to choose anywhere else that isn't running it back with Pittsburgh, that is probably the most likely. Why wouldn't it be Arizona? A little retirement home Aaron Rodgers over here for a year, right? And he's still productive. I got to say, he can't move, but he can throw, man. He can stand in the pocket, have 24 touchdowns, 7 picks last year, okay? Nearly 4,000 yards the year before. Like, Rodgers is still an effective player. I think if Arizona is trying to have a one-year chance to get some wins, Rodgers could be a signing they actually make. Now, he's going to be a little expensive for a really old quarterback, okay? So I think Rodgers, more than anything, would want to compete this last year. And I don't know that Arizona gives him the best chance to do that. And would Arizona pay $10 to $15 million for a quarterback that is, that old and not mobile? Or would they just run it back with Jacoby Brissett, who's on their roster right now, or maybe even Gardner Minshew? That's a quarterback battle we'll track. But just something to consider here because of how much Rodgers loves our OC. I want you to know, I want your opinion, though. Would you want the Cardinals to sign Aaron Rodgers? Why for yes and for no? I'll tell you, it'd be a lot more cameras on Arizona if he was the starting quarterback. But let me know your thoughts on him as a player joining your Cardinals. A couple more real quick to round out the list of people that actually could be signed to Arizona before the draft here. Jawan Taylor, because he specifically played right tackle. I think Jawan Taylor actually is a decent pass blocker. He was just being overpaid by Kansas City. And there's a lot of bad press on him. That's because of the penalties, right? Here you actually see on your screen he had 13 total. That was his issue in Kansas City, but he wasn't that bad of a pass blocker. Allowed 3 sacks too, so consider that, but that's not a whole lot, all things considered. And so Jawan Taylor's a real possibility for the Arizona Cardinals to bring in and fill that right tackle hole, and then you can just draft best player available and best defensive studs in the first round. One more we will round out the show with after Jawan Taylor is a defensive tackle. That's DJ Reader. Someone who has not been signed still, someone who's pretty good at pass rushing, just a big fella that you can put in the middle, and that would pretty much help Arizona's run defense a lot, right? I mean, 6'3", 335 pounds, 28 tackles last year, 4 quarterback hits. Didn't get many sacks, not really known for that, but again, just a big fella that would help on that defensive line. Could perhaps see Arizona making their last swing on a DT, especially if you don't get Campbell back. All right, that is what we're going to do for today's video, guys. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the Cardinals fans tuning in. We'll have more videos next week, so make sure you're subscribed. And enjoy all the fun, all the March Madness today, folks. I will see you guys later with some more content.